So 561 Music now has a hotline. You can call us anytime at 561-203-9122 and ask us any questions you like. Some humorous ones or something about the guests we've had on the show, or questions about gear, or questions about the festival, or anything you like. It's, of course, 561-203-9122. We would love to hear from you. We did a pretty fun little message, so you get to hear that too. Even if you just call up to listen to me and Hector trying to do a good phone message, that's a good enough reason. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you, so please get in touch. Hi guys, I know everyone says this on every YouTube channel, but please, could you like and subscribe to 561 Music Podcast? It's a local music podcast, and all we're trying to do is help local musicians get some exposure. So if you could like it, subscribe it, and also hit the notifications button on the episode, we would really, really appreciate it. And if you're feeling generous, you could subscribe to the Spotify as well. Thank you.
It's what we're doing. Come and check it out. It's what we're all about. 561 Music.
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
Oh, is it good to have you back, my friend?
No, it sucks, man. I'm going back to Colombia.
I have to admit, I really want to come with you. Colombia.
It was an experience, man. The first couple of days, I was real nervous. I mean, I have high anxiety to begin with, man. And so I got there, and, of course, there's all the stories about Colombia and everything. And then day one, I'm there, and there was a freaking 6.3 on the Richter scale earthquake.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Just about crapped myself, man. I've never been in an earthquake before, so that was just like, what the hell is going on?
Who has been in a big earthquake? Not that many people.
No, man, it sucked. And then I was just fighting the elements, and it was raining, and I was trying to get the street painting done, and it was a rough couple of first 2 days. But then I just, I got done with the street painting finally, and I started venturing out on my own a little bit and, exploring the city. And, man, I had a blast. I didn't want to come home. I was having such a good time, man. Yeah, it was fun.
That's it. I think, with places like that, the truth is that people are people. You get nice people and assholes wherever you go. And most people are nice wherever you go.
Well, here's the thing, man. I was walking around, and there was a lot of buildings and stuff that were a bit run down, or some homeless people on the street or stuff like that. I mean, it was no different than downtown New York or downtown Miami or downtown LA or something. Everybody has these stigmas about Colombia. It was fine. It was no different than a big city in the United States.
Yeah, no,
except everybody spoke Spanish, and it was cheap as hell, dude. I bought dinner at one point. They were buying everything for me because it was part of the deal of me going over there, and I decided I was gonna, be the nice guy and buy everybody dinner one night. There was about 6 of us. Man, I bought a couple of rounds of beers and full dinner, dessert, everything for 6 of us. And then the lady tells me it was 97,000, Colombian pesos, and my eyes went oh wait, how much? And then I did the calculation. It was $24.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
That's it, man. I've done a fair amount of traveling myself, and it's great that that's one of the upsides for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, it was crazy. It was crazy. You can go over there with $1,000 and live for a month like a king. It's unbelievable how cheap it is.
And I feel like in those countries in South America, there's a lot of the old buildings still up. It's all the history. It's great.
That was the cool thing, man. Just walking around. I mean, there were some rundown buildings, and there were some brand new, beautiful buildings. But I mean, there were some buildings like old churches and things like that were just so cool. I actually got to the top of Montserrat, which is a monastery, a sanctuary there. It's almost 2 miles high on the top of the mountain, and that was incredible. I mean, the church was incredible. I took the stairs on the way down. I actually screwed my knee up on the process, but took the stairs on the way down, which the stairs were made of stone carved out of the mountain. It was just such a cool experience and vibe over there. It was fun.
Yeah, man.
I had a really good time.
Do you think they would like bluegrass?
Actually, I played our album to a bunch of the artists over there, the Colombian artists and stuff, and they were all digging it, and they all followed us on Spotify. Spotify.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, every one of them follows on Spotify. So one of them wants to buy an album. I got to ship it over to him.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
We got to figure out a way to get over there. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be a money making escapade, but I tell you what, it would be fun.
It would be really fun. They said that there's a few bands over there that are like that are kind of that like folk or folk punk. I mean, they're Spanish bands, but I think it would be a riot to play with these like folk Spanish bands, man.
Yeah. Did you see any bands when you were out there?
I saw one band. I didn't really go out to like bars per se. We were like hanging out in the hotel a lot and hanging out in like just other places and things like that, and like some touristy places and things. So if we were like hanging out and having a couple of beers or something, it was typically like in the hotel. We were all just chilling out, and it was just cheaper to do that. And so I didn't really go to too many bars or anything. But there was one place we went to go shoot some pool and stuff, and there was like there was a small band there. It was like I think a 3-piece, but it was rock.
Yeah.
But it was like
did it have that
covers,
like Andean kind of like did they have pan pipes?
No, but it was like it was rock, but it was covers of American songs, but in Spanish. It was the weirdest thing.
Oh, cool. Well, I suppose one of the big pluses is you can speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing.
I think that made it a whole lot easier. If I couldn't communicate with them, and if I was like if they couldn't communicate with me and I couldn't communicate with them, I think that would have made it a completely different tense situation, and I probably wouldn't have had as much fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
When I went to Bolivia and Peru with Christy, we had a really, really good time, but the language barrier is a thing, that's for sure. I worked really hard at getting my Spanish better, but I mean, if you spend 3 months kind of trying to like learn a language that you've never tried to learn before, you're never going to get that far.
Well, I just didn't, I mean, I speak Spanish at my parents' house and stuff like that, but not that often, right? Because usually either my wife's there or my kids are there and they don't speak Spanish, so I speak English around them to my mom, and my mom answers me back in English. Yeah. So I mean, 7 straight days of only speaking Spanish. I mean, that's probably the most Spanish I've spoken in a really long time, No,
I feel that. And one of the good things about that is it's like when you're in a situation where you have no other choice, it's just so great for that language, for your fluency, Because all of a sudden you find yourself saying stuff you didn't even really know you could say.
Well, I mean, there's that, but then there's the flip side of the coin where I would say something thinking I was saying one thing and I was actually saying something else, and they're like, what? And then I would say it again, and they start laughing at me or something, and be like, no, you just said this, and I'm like, oh crap. or like just like British and American English, there's certain words you guys use for certain things, as slangy kind of stuff.
Yeah, right words. Yeah,
certain right, exactly. And certain slang things that we use that are different from your words that mean different things or whatever. And so it's the same thing in the Spanish culture. Cuban and Colombian and Ecuadorian and Spain. They all have their own dialect a little bit, their own kind of buzzwords and stuff. And so they were using some words to describe my artwork when it was done. They were like talking about my artwork and how great it was and what an awesome artist I was. But the words they were using in Cuban Spanish basically meant like, it's fucked.
Like the difference between shit and the shit.
Right, yeah, exactly. It was like, it's fucked. Like I thought they were saying that the artwork was fucked and that I was terrible. And then I was like, what? And they're like, no, we mean this. And then they changed it. They're like, we mean the artwork is amazing and you're incredible. And I was like, whew. I was like, all right. So, yeah. So it was cool though. It was fun. It was cool.
That whole bad meaning good thing. Yeah, things can mean like the exact opposite.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm so glad to have you back. I really am, and super proud of you that went over there and did some chalk painting. That's some big boy shit, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad I went. I was a little bit nervous about going, but I'm really glad I did it. I'm really glad I got over it and just went.
No doubt about it, man. So we have Chronic Combustion with us. How's it going, guys?
What's up, dudes?
It's going good.
Still alive.
Going good.
I like
that's always a plus.
Yeah.
But wait, fun fact: I'm Colombian.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Born there?
No, I was born here, but both my parents are from Medellin.
Have you been?
Yeah, I went there for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
when I was in high school.
This was Bogota I was in. And,
the capital. Don't tell my mom that. My mom will be like, capital people. There's just a rivalry.
I believe it. I believe it. There's a lot of countries that are Spanish-speaking countries that are like that.
But hear another fun fact?
Yeah.
My mom used to date one of Pablo Escobar's top dudes.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was like, how did that even happen? She's like, I don't know. I was young. I was like, okay,
well, and I'm sure but the coca leaf is not just for cocaine. Like they use it for like medicinal purposes and things like that.
Yeah.
So you can actually walk into a store and buy like a pharmacy and buy a bag of like coca leaf.
Totally,
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, "What?
Yeah. So,
What?"
I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of processing to make it into cocaine. You have to do a lot of stuff to it.
because you just like chew
I
on
know.
them, right?
It took me forever.
Yeah, it's like
No,
you
I'm
chew
kidding.
on them and it's like only like 100th as strong as cocaine or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta melt it down and
Mix it with all these chemicals.
yeah,
and
When's
stuff.
the last
gasoline
time
and
you were-
stuff.
Yeah.
When's the last time you
That's
were there?
why. That's why.
Last time I went,
Yeah.
high school.
Okay.
I want to go back by myself. I know Spanish. I'm good. I'm good to go. I can survive.
Yeah.
But I want to go to Cartagena.
Oh
So
yeah.
like that Spanish architect and that big fort, I was like,
Yeah.
I need to go there one day.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, like I said, I only spent the time in Bogota, and there was a lot of other cities that I would have loved to have gone to. So I could go there for a month and be like not
Oh,
bored.
you'll be
not
chilling.
Bored.
Yeah.
Not
mhm.
bored. Yeah, there's so much history there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I can't wait. And my friend Craig he goes to see his dad about every 3 months, and he's been saying to me, I mean, his that's not like his, he has his given name is something else, but that's what he goes by. But
Pablo Escobar.
but like he keeps saying to me we should go. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, we should all go.
Well, we should.
We should all go. Yeah. You should come with us. We should all go to
We should all
Colombia.
just go.
Okay.
Let's go. Screw the
I
podcast.
haven't been there. I've been the only place I've been like South America or Central America is Costa Rica, which like you guys were saying, it's like
Super
you
cheap.
go to the cities and it's pretty much just like any
Yeah.
big American city, same traffic as New York, all
Yeah.
that shit. It's a beautiful place too. One of the few like places on Earth that's like not completely stripped of all of its
Yeah.
natural resources.
Yeah, for real. But I think we should change this podcast to just a travel podcast.
Travel
Travel
cast.
podcast.
All go on vacation and then
And
come
then
back
and talk about traveling.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Let's do this.
Awesome. So Chronic Combustion. Where did that name come from?
We used to be called Intolerance, right?
Right.
But then we realized there's like 7 bands called Intolerance.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that makes
me
sense.
and my ex-guitar player were like, we need a new name. And then she just came up with that. I was like, okay, I don't know any other band with that name.
No, it
We
sounds
just stuck
good.
with it.
It works. Sort of like what is it? I'm trying to figure out what it means. So something explodes, but explodes like really seriously.
It could mean
Chronic combustion
it could
is-
mean something that's just on fire forever,
Oh, there you
or
go.
it could be weed. You
Chronic as a
Of
weed.
course.
burning some chronic.
Of course, I didn't think about that side of it. Yeah, that makes total sense now.
It can mean whatever you want it to mean.
So Zach, how long have you been playing guitar, and when did you first? What was your like early years with playing music? Like, how did you get into playing music originally?
So I've been playing like almost 4 years now. I started playing like December 2019-ish. I kind of just got into it because like I don't know, I spent the most of my childhood listening to like maybe 30-ish songs and just video game soundtracks, but then around the age of like 17 or so, like something just awakened in me and I just started having a much greater appreciation for music as a whole.
Nice.
And I just started listening to a lot of metal, stuff like that. And I tried to get into like I think a few other instruments. Like I tried learning like piano and stuff. It just didn't interest me as much. But then I was like, let me try guitar. And then I tried guitar and I liked it a lot.
Nice.
So that's how I got into it.
That's awesome, dude. Have you had lessons?
A few here and there, but like I'm mostly self-taught.
Yeah. And what were some of the sort of early when you were learning guitar? Like what were some of your influences? Like what were you trying to sound like when you started out?
Around that time, I was listening to a lot of like the classic heavy metal, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, that kind of stuff. Which if you listen to Judas Priest, it's not the like best for a beginner, but there's some Sabbath stuff that I was able to play pretty well. I started getting into like the heavier shit around like I want to say 2019, 2020,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah, cool. How old are you, man?
I'm 23 now.
Gotcha. So yeah, it's a spring chicken, you know, in comparison to me. Anyway, I'm literally 20 years older than you. I wish I was 23, but yeah. So you know, you started quite. So you've been playing guitar for about 4 years. So when you started, when you were about 19.
Yeah, I was
okay.
19.
Yeah, I think I was 13, 14 when I picked up the guitar. So it's not it's not late, but it's not early. It's like right in the middle there.
Yeah. Which, you know, I feel it was a pretty good time to start for me. I mean, I'm not too old that I have like no neuroplasticity left, and it's just impossible for me to learn anything new. But I'm old enough that I can actually like. My parents tried to teach me guitar, or not teach me guitar, but put me in guitar lessons like when I was I don't God knows how old I was younger.
Right.
ADHD kid. My dad had gotten a like just this shit ass classical guitar, and I was in some group lessons. You know, they showed us a few chords. I couldn't get into it, but when I was actually, you know, I was able to get an electric guitar, and that when I was, you know, old enough to have like an actual attention span, and yeah, it became a lot easier for me to like get into it that way.
Yeah, nice.
Plus, I
man.
actually had like an actually developed musical taste, so that helped a lot in like figuring out where I wanted to go.
Yeah, you have like an avenue, like you're heading down it. That is helpful, actually.
You gotta want to do it. I mean, you know, your parents putting you in when you're little. If you have no desire to do it at that time,
I probably would have if it were like as easy as some people imagine. If I were able to go to 2 classes and be playing like Van Halen, I would have loved that shit. But
playing guitar is hard. I think people underestimate how hard it's going to be, for sure.
Yeah, it's easy to get like the basics down, but like getting like actually good at it, which I don't know if I'd even consider myself good, because you know I've only been playing a few years. But yeah, it's fun. Once you start learning and stuff, once you get the basics down, you just practice those more, and then you get into the real fun shit. Like you learn stuff like pinch harmonics, and then you're like, oh, I can do all the cool shit now. Not all the cool shit, but cool enough.
A lot of the cool shit is pinch harmonics, that's for sure.
Yeah. Zach Wild, thank you.
Do you practice a lot to this day? Are you practicing every day?
Yeah. Maybe not every day, but I practice throughout the week, you know.
A lot of the metal guys, you know, a lot of you guys who play metal do practice a lot, you know.
Yeah.
I noticed that. You've got to, really, because the music demands it, you know, for sure. But yeah,
No.
I'd say yours does. No, it goes killer your music. So Jordan, how did you find yourself getting into music originally?
Well, I always like grew up listening to music, but it was like my mom's like vallenato salsa music, which growing up I always hated because, you know, once you hear that, it was cleaning day. So I had a routine in my head. I'm like, ugh. But then my mom dated this one dude who was all into like the hard like rock. So I got into it. Then one day I got gifted Guitar Hero 3.
Yeah.
And then you know how the last songs are all like the fast, heavy stuff? I was like, whoa, they're still faster than AC/DC. So that's when I started getting into that type of music. But I was really into Dragon Force. See, I wanted to be like Zach, a cool-ass guitar player. But I'm just dumb, and I never learned how to play guitar ever.
Right.
I've had too many classes. My brain is like, nah, that ain't gonna work. I even have like a Herman Lee signature Ibanez
Right.
that I haven't dropped A, and I just chugs. He probably hates that. But so I remember in high school, this one girl's like, Jordan, you ever listen to death metal? I was like, death metal, what's that? It's like, listen to Dying Fetus. So I was like, what? And then that's when I started getting into death metal. I had a huge death metal phase.
Okay.
Until one day I stumbled upon Obscene Extreme Festival.
Right.
I was like, Obscene Extreme? I never heard of that big fest. It's like a metal fest. And the first video I clicked on was Gutalax.
Right.
I was like, Gutalax, what's this? And it's a guy frog croaking. And I was like, this is the best shit I've ever listened to. And then my music taste has gone downhill. From there, it's been frog croaks, poopy noises, just pouring, fucking moaning through all the songs, samples. But
yeah, sure.
I don't know. I just like it because it's so different. It's like out there. It's not like some of the death metal guys being as serious as they can, like killing. All these songs are like poop fart, poop poop fart. I'm like, I like that. You know?
Would you say that? The this particularly this subgenre of metal that you're into, like grindcore, sort of sludge type music.
Sludge, gore grind, porno grind, all that.
Yeah. Would you say that it's just for the kind of fun of doing it, or would you say that it's kind of like avant-garde, kind of like an artistic statement?
I think it's both. Depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
And there's also like an other divide. Like there's like the grindcore, like gore grind people, and I want to keep it like the hardcore punk style where it's like political and serious and all that stuff. But then there's poop fart guys.
Yeah.
So there's like that divide.
Which side would you say
The
you're
poop
on?
fart. All their songs are dumb. I'm just like poop fart. Like
Shit, piss, cum.
So sometimes I feel like you don't have to be that serious.
Yeah,
you
for
could
sure.
just like have fun, you know. Just if I want to make a song about like shitting and pissing, like
Life
Yeah,
is
do it.
stupid.
Life is
whatever.
stupid. I give you that.
I feel like in the end when you die, it's like, oh well, this didn't really matter.
May as well have fun along the way, you know.
So we originally met at Propaganda, different shows over the years, and when you would put your mask on, like it reminded me that I'd seen you at No Name Scar Band shows, because we used to do the same thing, and we used to have those awesome masks. It was a lot of fun wearing the ski masks. I love the anonymity; it's cool. But so are you still going out to Propaganda regularly? Do you live in Lake Worth?
No, I don't live in Lake Worth. I live in Wellington.
Right, gotcha.
But like I still go to Prop. I still try to go out to all the shows and stuff. It's just lately it's just been really tired because I've been working like all day now.
Gotcha.
And like the bill, like nothing's getting cheaper now. So it's like, do I go out this week or like do I get Taco Bell? Like,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
it's a hard balance now. But I still try to go out.
Yeah.
I might go to Prop on Friday for that Disc Fest.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Punk Fest or
Yeah,
forgot the name.
wicked. I need to go out more. The what was I going to say? Yeah, so like even though you're like super into metal though, you'll go to other stuff, right? Like you don't really care
yeah.
what it is.
Because when I had that anti-metal phase.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about your anti-metal phase. What happened there?
Oh, it was basically when the first time the band broke up, I was just like, you know what? I don't need metal.
Right.
So I just started going to like reggae shows, like folk shows. That's where I met you.
Yeah.
Ska shows, and I was like, whoa, there's other music other than metal that people could actually enjoy, and it's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you go to metal shows, like, there's that try-hard corner.
Yeah,
Those metalheads are like, yeah, we're the metal band. But like at no weak shit here. But then at the ska shows, everybody's like, ska, yeah. And reggae shows, everybody's like, jamming.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
totally.
it's a whole different vibe. I kind of like it.
It's like competitive gaming. Once people start taking themselves too seriously, it just stops being fun.
Well, that is true. I agree with that.
That is 100% true.
Yeah. And I feel like metal's a world, it's like it's like anything of these sort of genres of music. You start thinking music is the genre. Like you can't see outside of it, you know what I mean? That happens to quite a lot of people. But but by the same token, there's plenty of people like you, for example, who have, very varied taste in music. What about you, Zach? Do you go to other shows?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of. I like reggae's cool. Rap rock, psychedelic rock. Big fan of psychedelic. I go to rap here and there. Punk.
Okay, cool. So you're going to see whatever. You just enjoy it.
Yeah. There's not really a whole lot of music genres I don't really enjoy. I mean, if I had to pick a least favorite genre, it would probably be pop.
Okay.
But even pop.
I thought you were going to say country. Almost everyone says country.
I say
I
country.
can't even. I can't say I've listened to enough country to have a proper opinion
That's
on
even
it.
more of a diss. I like
Yeah, country. I don't even know her.
That's great.
Yeah, and even pop has some songs I gotta say they're bangers. It's like I can't say there's any genre of music that's wholly terrible.
No, exactly. The word even is just kind of stupid. I agree with that. So when it comes to recording your music, how do you guys go about that?
Literally just somebody's house with a laptop as the software, little Focusrite, just plug straight in.
You do a good job. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my old drummer dude, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, okay.
He's been recording his own stuff for like years. So I was like, I knew he could do it.
Yeah, you know, it's you don't really need all this fancy gear. You know, I can get like really caught up in like spending tons of money on different stuff, plugins, but you can get a lot done with very little. That's for sure.
Mhm.
You know?
Also depends on the genre. Like sludge grind, nobody cares if you have like the worst like black metal quality. They're all just like, oh, this is normal.
Yeah,
Right.
that's just a standard.
Yeah, they're just standard. Like, wait, you actually have production?
What the fuck?
Almost
is
makes
this?
it worse if it sounds. Yeah, totally.
Basically.
Yeah.
Who mixes it? Like who mixes the masters? Just whoever's recording it for you.
Yeah, just whoever can do it.
That's gonna be us next time. Then we're gonna be on our own.
Do you know how to mix?
No,
Me neither.
it'll be a nice learning experience.
Or you
Yeah,
just do straight up raw. Just raw dog
Yeah.
it. No lube. just release it like
Just,
that.
I don't know. I just open up the EQ thingy, move around the little wavy thing until it sounds good.
Yeah, if I'm honest with you, I think that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, I don't need an audio engineering degree. I have my intuition.
Follow us for more recording tips.
Despite being like a metal band, I think you're the most punk rock like outfit we've had on this show.
Right.
Super awesome.
I mean, grindcore is like punk adjacent, anyway. So.
Yeah.
Subgenre of hardcore punk.
Totally. And sounds badass. So tell me about this witch fucker tune. What's that about? Fucking witches?
Witch pussy.
Basically, I mean, my old guitar player heard it from a game called Witcher. I guess one of the insults were witch fucker. So I was like, okay, I'll just make it a song and then just
Awesome.
talk about like just fucking witches, basically. There's not really any like tense metaphors in it. Basically, what the song titles are is basically what the song's about. I don't really try to.
Keep it nice and literal.
Yeah,
People ask you like, oh, what does witch fucker stand for? And you're like, fucking witches.
witch pussy, bro.
Witch pussy, warlock cock, witch gawk. We don't discriminate here.
So, oh, this is fun. My mum's gonna love this one.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom too. Mom's gonna be like, Jordan, why'd you say that? I'm gonna be like, oh.
Your mom sounds Asian.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
So, how many gigs do you guys play out a lot? Like you said, you had some. We were talking earlier, and you said you played in August. Didn't you play right next door recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bass player set up a whole rap show. We're like the only metal band, but they know how to mosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a good
cool.
show. It was like one of the better ones we've had, probably.
In a while, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, how many times did you play in August?
We played 3.
Okay.
It's like weird because like we'll not play shows for like 3 months because of like trying to find a drummer or drum tracks or something happen. And then like as soon as August hit, we're like, all right, we'll have 3 shows. So basically, still averages a 1 show a month.
Right. Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I'll take that.
Yeah, totally. No, it's awesome. So I'm curious, like, how often do you practice and where do you practice?
His garage.
Yeah.
And like we try to get like once a week, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Try.
Once a week isn't bad. I mean, you know, like once a week's the right
That's more
amount.
than what we're doing.
We gotta get. I mean, you know, I do my best.
But you guys play like every day, right? So every day is like practice. So that's basically practice.
We play a few times a week
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean
And speaking of which, tomorrow is Thursday.
I'm feeling a little sick right now. So I have a fever. I don't know if I can.
We'll see how that goes.
we don't even need to like practice that much.
Honestly, our songs are that easy.
He just does whatever. I just like if I feel rusty, I just put on the tracks we have and play to them. Our bassist, she's got it. She just if she falls behind, she just hits that open B and that does the job.
That's great. So what's the plan? Are you guys going to be writing some more tunes soon?
Yeah, we should actually do that. We could do that Sunday, probably.
We're gonna
Just get it done on Sunday. It's all
Honestly, we could probably record everything on like one day.
I don't know about that.
Easy, just write all the riffs, simple riffs. We just don't have a drummer.
Yeah, I mean some of the best songs are made. It's just like that, you know.
Oh yeah, Juicy
Par-
Jazz was 5 minutes.
Yeah, Paranoid, Sabbath made that in 2 hours. It was supposed to be just a filler track. 'Cause-
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, their producers basically told them, hey, album's too short, we need an extra song. They're like, okay, Paranoid fucking wrote some lyrics and a riff matter of 2 hours, and it became like one of their most well-known songs.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's super.
That's usually how it happens, though.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah, I know with Killbillies, some of the songs that we've written, the better. If you spend hours and hours and hours laboring over a song to make it good, it usually means the original idea wasn't that great. You know what I mean? Like I've definitely that's happened to us a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So for the uninitiated, who are some sludge bands and some grind bands that people should listen to?
Sludge will be like the classic I Hate God.
Acid Bath, Soylent Green.
Yeah, you know more sludge bands than me.
Yeah. I mean,
Grind bands I just never
Yeah.
remember because I just go on playlists and there's like many of them.
Yeah,
But I'm also
Yeah.
like gore grind, like Gutalax, Cerebello, what's that, Farmadillit or whatever. They're like a noise sludge grind band.
okay.
He has like 200 albums. and he
Pig
just-
Destroyer is good.
Pig Destroyer,
Yeah.
that's classic. Insect Warfare,
Okay.
classic grind band.
Yeah, I know Pig Destroyer. I know
Oh.
a few of those actually. I know Soylent Green.
Napalm Death, the literally
Yeah.
inventors.
The grindcore band.
Okay, I didn't know. I mean, I know Napalm Death. But I didn't realize they were like the original.
Yeah, they started it all.
Oh, awesome.
Carcass basically started gore grind, but then they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to melodic death metal." I'm like, nah, dude, nah. I don't like that. To this day, I don't like that.
So I think this is it. Seeing as we've been talking a lot about it, I think now is a good time to listen to this tune. Let's do it. Let's get your song on and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Sound good?
All right, cool, yeah.
It's
Hi, this is Ben from 561 Music. We are a local music podcast that is completely designed to promote and shed light on local music. And if you would like to be a part of that, we're looking for sponsors. So you could have your ads in the episode and in all the show notes, and we will read you bespoke ads, or you can write your own ads yourselves. If you want to find us, you can find us at 561 Music Podcast on the socials, or www.561music.com. We'd love it if you got in touch. Thanks a lot. We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Rd, and it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. And yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root Kava Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station, right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. Thanks. All right, so we just listened to an ad for Live Music Community. Could you tell us, give us a little bit of advice for upcoming musicians? Why don't we start with you, Zach?
I don't know. I'm a beginner musician myself, but what I'm finding, just don't take yourself too seriously. Have fun. If you start out immediately trying to go, oh, I'm gonna be the biggest, the baddest, it's I'm gonna. If you have just those massive, if you have huge aspirations and that's what motivates you, fine. But for me personally, I just feel if the most important thing is you just have fun with it. And that's what matters, because that's what music is all about. It's just
100%.
Just the fun of it all, the experience.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. You got anything for us, Jordan?
We need more drummers out here. Want to make easy money, dude? Everybody needs a drummer. Join like 5 bands, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah, no, it's good advice. We definitely need more drummers out here. Killbilly's kind of skirted the issue when we played the drums with our feet. But no, it'd be great to have some more drummers. Anything else? Any other little tidbits?
Just have fun, you know?
Yeah,
like
man.
at the end, that's what it's all about. Just having fun, you know? Like, it's not competition. It's just chill, have fun.
You know what? I couldn't agree more. And one of the things that just drives me to distraction, something that just drives me nuts, is like the music talent show things. I never understood that. Like
Battle of the
Battle of the
Bands.
Bands.
Yeah, anything like that, I just find it so stupid. It's like, how you make music into a competition? It's a subjective medium, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw shade, but like it's clear what type of bands they like.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. Anyway, so could you tell us a little bit about? I guess we already talked about it, but so yeah, Witch Fucker. How did that come about? We just listened to it, so remind me what happened with the writing and recording of Witch Fucker.
Oh, it was just a name, and I was like, well, I never played Witcher. I know about fucking witches, I think. So that's literally all the lyrics. It's just
and you recorded it at your old bass player's house? Is that one of the ones?
my old drummer's house,
Your
yeah.
old drummer's house?
Mhm.
Okay, and it was it's on the record West Puke Beach, right?
Mhm.
It's
Extra
on
Vile
the-
edition.
It's on the Extra Vile edition?
the superior edition than the other one.
Yeah, wicked.
Just saying.
West Peak Beach Extra Vile Edition is the coolest name for a record maybe I've ever heard.
Thank you.
You got a good ass album cover on that one too.
I want to shoot a music video for that West Puke Beach, like in downtown Clematis.
Yeah,
But I don't think anybody wants to scale those, like, you know, the high rises that they're getting built.
yeah.
I want to scale it and be like at the top and
I
shoot
think
at
it'd be
the
cool
top.
if it was you were on Clematis and you're just blasting puke at each other.
That's what I was gonna
That
say.
would be cool.
Just go to Clematis, start throwing up.
Yeah.
The whole music video is just everybody throwing up.
You know when they do that thing where they kind of put like a hose and you can't see the hose and it's just like spraying.
Oh no, I want to be authentic. I'm just gonna get blasted enough
Gotta
to
do-
just puke.
Gotta do it like right in front of Respects too.
All right, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna like you feed you loads of like warm salty water down on Clematis Street and like have you all puke up and I'm gonna film you. It's gonna be
Easy.
It's probably gonna be one of those things like this, you know, like the comedy movies where like, you know, one person pukes and it like turns somebody's stomach and then they puke and then somebody else is like, oh, I can't stand the smell, oh, and then they
Do
puke.
they-
yeah.
Before you know it, everybody on Clematis was puking.
great. Yeah.
Do they still make Epic Hap? Is that a thing that's still
Yes.
around? Because that's
Yes.
like that would be just a godsend for a music video.
a puke music video?
Yeah.
No, we gotta do it during like a family event, like the most clematis family event. You know, the farmers market. Start throwing up
you
there.
just ruined their day.
Moonfest. Puke there.
There you go. Oh man! So you said we were talking in the break, and you said that you have you put on a festival. Is that right?
Oh yeah, Sounds from the Anus Fest.
So what Sounds from the Anus all about?
Well,
Other than farts.
Well, because I had the idea, right? Because, like, a lot of, like, bands that are, like, don't fit, like, the mold, you know? I feel like they kind of get, like, skirted away. So, Anus Fest, I was like, well, people probably think these bands are ass, but no, they're just different genres that people aren't used to. So, I was like, I'm just going to get all those bands together and just have a whole fest about it. Because to me, I like all types of genres, even if it's a weird, like, noise stuff. I'm like, everybody should get a platform, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's why I made it.
Yeah. Cool, man. So when's the next one?
I try to do it like every 6 months, so probably
Right.
sometime in January, but I just got to get a location for it, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right. What kind of guitar you play, Zach?
I have a few, but my main one is my LTD Viper 400.
Right.
Just it's absolute beast in its sound, and it's a beautiful guitar too. Just this like nice pink to purple fade.
Oh,
I
sick.
love it.
Do you use an amp, or have you got a one of these? Like, because I feel like
Modeler
these
or
days
something.
everyone's using like an emulator pedal thing.
Yeah, I use a Boss Katana. Nothing super fancy.
Yeah.
When we play live, we just use a Katana head and the.
We got
One
there.
right behind Ben.
yeah, I got that's a 50, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 100. We
Gotcha.
use just like a Katana head and a 300-watt speaker for the.
The classic Line 6.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
4x12.
Cool, man. Yeah. All right. So when's your next? When's your next show?
September 1st. We don't have a drummer, but that means we could either get a fill. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Drum tracks.
So if anyone's watching this, and they want to play with a sludge band on September 1st, now is the time to get in touch.
Right.
I got all the drumming tutorial videos on my phone. Send you that drive. Easy to go.
We're on Instagram. Find us.
So not having a drummer right now, you had a story you were sharing with us at the beginning before we started recording that about a show you guys had where your drummer dropped out like day of. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, because he had a family emergency, which is understandable. So we go in. Yeah, it was the day of. I was like, well, now there's only 3 bands. I'm like, I don't want to drop out and only have 2 bands. It's like the show was like for charity.
Yeah.
So I was like, in my mind, I was like, man, I wrote all the songs. I could play them on drums, no problem. So I roll in there because I asked the band previous so I could use their set. So I sit there. I'm like, shit, this is a lot of drum set. So I tried the first song. It failed miserably. And then the drummer from World Eater, because I asked him, I was like, hey, you just want to do an improvised set? And I guess he felt bad for my poor performance. He came up, and then he started playing something, but I guess the monitor, nobody could hear anything. So it just sounded like random stuff. So he left, and then the guitar player from Balloons, they're from Quebec. They played with us.
Right.
He was like, all right, I'll play. And then he just got up and just started blast beating, just playing a bunch of stuff. And we're all just like, well, I guess this is the set now. So we just rolled with him. We just tried to improvise that whole show. He wasn't in the band, but he was.
Yeah,
he was there.
It was good for what it was. There's some good material there. We might include a line from that song that set on one of our upcoming songs on the new EP.
Excellent. So what? The other question I want to ask you is, you once supported the Toasters. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. So we get messaged. They're like, oh, you want to play a show in Fort Myers on Sunday? I was like, oh, Fort Myers? I used to live in Cape Coral. That would be cool to go back, see my family and all that. Then I was like, oh, what band are we playing with? They're like, the Toasters. I'm like, who the fuck are the Toasters? I never heard of the Toasters before. So I looked them up. It was during their like 40 years of ska tour. I'm like, oh, God. But we did it anyway.
Yeah.
So we got there. We played second, right? I feel bad. The first band should have played second because they're rockabilly.
Okay.
It made sense.
Yeah.
They got everybody warmed up. Everybody's like, yeah. And then we show up. During sound check, we saw people like look around. And as soon as we played the first song, everybody literally just got up and left. There's like 3 people in the crowd still. And I was like, well... Hey guys, but we could clear a room, so I know that.
That's hilarious. I got to say, it's a very strange mix, like you guys and the Toasters, because they're not even like ska punk. They're just straight up,
just
ska.
straight up like old school ska.
Yeah.
Kind of like, and it's kind of like the show we did over there at Kava Daddy.
The rap show, but at least everybody stayed inside.
Yeah,
and they actually marched, so that was cool. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you know they're pretty cool in there, and it's a bit of a different deal too because it's sort of like a more of like a community environment. You know what I mean? Just like friends and stuff like that over there. But yeah, just going to like going cold to a gig in Fort Myers supporting the Oasis. That's just that's cold, man. I don't know why they did that to you.
And we all got a picture together, so like
yeah, they're cool as hell. I love the Toasters, and actually I'm making a record at the moment with some ex-members of the Toasters. They're one of my favorite bands over the years. Yeah, man. All right. Well, listen. Is there anything you want to get out there before we kind of wrap this up? Is there anything like you want people to know about things up and coming, stuff like that?
every local band. big things coming. Not sure when.
Not ready. Y'all ain't ready
Y'all ain't
for
ready
this.
for us, bro.
Yeah.
This next
West
EP
Palm.
straight fire.
Yeah, I'm better than Herman Lee.
All right. Well, I have to say, you guys are charming and hilarious, and this has been one of the more fun interviews we've done in a long time. So let me take a look here. What we are doing this weekend is
O'Shea's on Friday, I think, right?
O'Shea's on Friday, yeah. And then on Saturday in the day, I'm playing at Golden Juicery at noon, and I've just put together this bonkers like sort of looper board that I have all these bells and whistles and knobs and levers and stuff, and you should check it. It's bordering on steampunk, the craziness of this board. So you should come and see me play. And then in the evening of Saturday, we are playing at Paddy Mac's.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah. And then on
we had Saturday off.
Sunday,
Oh, okay.
something's going on. What's going on Sunday? Okay. You're coming around my house.
I'm coming to your house and we're recording some stuff.
I remember.
Non-Killbilly related.
Yeah, exactly.
Ska related, actually. As
Yeah,
a matter of fact.
Maybe we'll get on the bill, dude. We got experience playing with ska bands.
Yeah, we got some ska connects.
Ska connects out here. Bro, the ska community ain't ready for us.
All right. Well, listen. It's been a pleasure, and
Thank you.
I'll speak to you very soon. I'm sure I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Paris always comes through here, and it's like next door all the time. So, I'm sure we'll see each other around. And I've got to come and see a show now. Now we've chatted like this, and I've seen you because the only time I've ever chatted to you has been like in the dark, in the middle of the night. You know what I mean?
That is
it's
true.
like, I've
I'm
never
usually
s-
like blasted at that point.
Yeah, with like all this noise in the background,
Yeah,
It
exactly.
sounds so sketchy. I've only talked to you in the dark, in the middle of the night.
Yeah, totally.
It would be more sketchy if there was like sneakers.
Yeah, totally.
Somebody came to me at sneakers, like, yeah, you play a prop. I'll be like, whoa, what?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess the only thing left to say is, please, if you have any spare cash lying around, you can go on our website and donate. It's 561music.com, and we're looking for sponsors at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to sponsor the show, then please reach out. There's all sorts of different ways we can do it. So I'm not going to kind of like start saying, prices and things right now. Just get in touch with us and we'll talk about it. You got
It's
anything you want to say?
$1 million per episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Per minute of the episode.
Because then I can move to Colombia and live like a king.
Might be able to already do that. I'm not sure.
Probably.
All right. But thanks, guys.
Yeah,
No,
it's
thank
been-
you
been
for
a
having us
pleasure.
on.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Peace
So-
out.